Ever wondered exactly how your little one goes from cooing to conversation? Today we're diving into how babies learn language. What sparks those first words, what everyday things turbocharge communication, and where screens fit in. Stick around for some super practical tips you can use today, a simple 25-word milestone for toddlers, and some clear advice on when to reach out for help. If you remember one thing from this, it's that baby's language blooms through back and forth interactions, what scientists call serve and return. When you smile, when you copy their sounds, and when you wait for their reply, you're quite literally wiring their little brains for language. Research shows that social interaction, even before the 9-month babble boom, predicts later vocabulary. That natural parental voice, slower melodic speech, invites babies to answer back. You'll see a journey. Look for those early stages of cooing, babbling, strings like da-da-da, gestures like pointing and waving, and those exciting first words and mini sentences. Those everyday conversations during nappy changes or meal prep, when you're narrating what you're doing, they're pure gold. The NHS guidance emphasises talking face-to-face with your baby so they can see your mouth. It also emphasises responding to every babble and naming everything as you go. Shared book reading builds vocabulary, attention, and the pure joy of stories. A 2025 meta-analysis found that home-based reading significantly boosts language and broader development. Pediatric and speech therapy teams now call reading promotion a core part of child healthcare. Remember this easy prompt when reading. Comment more than question. Describe first, then ask. At around age 2, many toddlers use around 50 words, but they have a smaller core of 25 words that appears across almost all children. These are things like mummy, daddy, ball, dog, book, more, and all gone. If your child isn't using many of these words or a clear equivalent gesture or sign, that's not panic territory. It's just simply a signal to check in with your health visitor, your GP, or your NHS speech and language team for some early advice. You can use a list like this as a guide, but not as a test. Interestingly, exposure to multiple language doesn't confuse babies. Studies show that bilingual environments can enhance the attention and problem solving of little brains. NHS speech and language therapy guidance encourages families to keep speaking the language they're most comfortable with. Rich input matters more than which language it is. So a tip would be to speak your strongest language when you're tired. Quality over quantity. A 2024 study of 31,000 toddlers found that higher mobile use linked with lower language comprehension. Not because screens are evil, but because they replace real conversation time. Toddlers who spend more time on screens hear fewer words and they vocalize less. Still, how you use screens matters. Co-view and talk about what you're watching. Avoid screens during meal times and bedtimes. You can use this checklist. Co-view and comment. Short, predictable windows, and screen-free meals and bedtime. Right, let's stop the clock on some common language myths. Starting with a classic one, boys just talk later. Research shows differences are small and often due to interaction, not gender. They'll talk when they're ready. Sometimes true, but waiting too long can miss the window for early support. If you're unsure, please do check in early. Using baby sign delays speech. Nope. It often helps because gestures keep that back and forth flow going. Too many languages cause confusion. False. Babies can separate languages naturally. The rule of thumb, if advice sounds like do nothing and wait, it's worth double checking with an NHS professional. Babies born moderate to late preterm may follow a slightly different rhythm. Recent studies highlight that early eye gaze, turn taking, and gesture moments are strong predictors of later language. So slow down interactions, mirror their sounds, and give extra wait time. Try counting 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi after speaking. Let's wrap up with some ultra practical things you can do today. So narrate the now, say what you see. Spoon goes stir, stir, look at the bubbles. Comment more, quiz less. That's a big red bus instead of what's this? Follow their lead. Expand what they point at. Dog, brown dog sleeping. Read playfully, daily. Even just 2 minutes counts. Use parenties. Protect chat times from screens. So this is meal times and bedtimes. Keep both languages flowing if your household is bilingual. For any worries, start with your NHS health visitor or GP. They can check progress against milestones like the 25-word list and if needed, they can refer you to a speech and language therapist. The NHS website also offers free resources. Search NHS Help Your Baby Learn to Talk. And remember, early support works best when it's healthcare-led and family-focused. Before you go, here's your Babyzone challenge. For the next week, count your serve and return moments. Those little back and forths of sound, gesture, or talk with your baby. Share your one favourite moment in the comments or tag us. Let's fill social feeds with real-life conversations that grow little brains.